In the time I have been working as a trainer here in Thailand, I've become familiar with a lot of very common slip-ups caused by grammatical differences in Thai and English. The first issue is that verbs are not conjugated in Thai. The thought of a timeline directly relating to verbs and the way communication in English is produced is an abstract concept and quite hard to instill in learners of English as a foreign language. In our first section, present, past, and future, we're going to take a closer look at how verbs relate to the timeline. So what is a verb anyway? A verb expresses action or a state of being. Action verbs take direct objects. Example, Joe hit the ball. Hit is the action, ball receives the action. State of being verbs link the subject with a noun or a pronoun which follows the verb. Example, John is president. John and president are the same people. State of being verbs also link the subject with an adjective. Example, Mary is pretty. Mary is the subject. Pretty is the adjective that refers to Mary. There are also sensory or intransitive verbs like taste, smell, sound, feel, look, become, appear, seem. Now, before we move on to the timeline relations, we should start with some basic pronunciation for regular past tense verbs ending in ed. There are 3 pronunciations for ed. Number 1 is soft D, as in he poured a cup of coffee. Poured, d, soft D. Number 2, id, as in it sounded like a dog barking. Sounded, sounded, id. Number 3, hard T, as in he worked on it last night. Worked, hard T. We also have occurrences of gerunds where verbs are actually acting as nouns, and then we go and add an ed ending to the end of a noun and we use it as a verb. So it can get quite confusing. Let's take a look at some illustrations of 12 verb tenses, and then we're going to move on into some exercises designed to better understand this timeline concept. Let's take a quick look at some illustrations of 12 verb tenses, and then we're going to move into some exercises that are designed to help you better understand this timeline concept. The first one we have is simple present. It snows in Alaska. I watch television every day. Remember, third person singular, he, she, it, has an S after the verb. It snows. Next we have the simple past. It snowed yesterday. I watched television last night. Here we have a soft D. It snowed. And we have a hard T. I watched. Next we have the simple future. It will snow tomorrow. I will watch television tonight. Now we'll examine will as well as going to in upcoming units. Next is present continuous. And remember, the continuous tense covers a period of time with that ing ending. He is sleeping right now. Past continuous. He was sleeping when we arrived. Future continuous. He will be sleeping when we arrive. Next we have the present perfect. And in the present perfect, we're going to look at the past participle with the verb. I have already eaten. Past participle, verb to eat, eaten. I'm still feeling the effects. I have already eaten. Past perfect, I had already eaten when they arrived. Now they missed dinner. Future perfect, I will already have eaten when they arrive. So they're going to miss it completely. Past perfect continuous, I have been studying for 2 hours, meaning I'm still studying. Past perfect continuous, I had been studying for 2 hours before my friend came. So when my friend arrived, I was still studying. Future perfect continuous, I will have been studying for 2 hours by the time you arrive. I'll be studying when you get here.